We are almost at the halfway mark in the 2024-2025 season, and for the first time in 9 years, the Oilers' best player is not named Connor McDavid. This is a player who's been overlooked and overshadowed his entire career, all thanks to this guy. And it's always nice to see when he gets the recognition he deserves. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you guessed it, Mattias Janmark.
My name is Jeff.
I'm just kidding, it's Leon Draisaitl.
Got a hit. Jesus Christ.
Leon Draisaitl!
Aside.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode here on Above Average. Thanks for clicking on this video. You guys have been absolutely crushing it. We're on the road to 6K subs at the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if we could get there. Yeah, thanks for clicking on this video. We're talking about Leon Draisaitl today and just the unbelievable season he's having. I really wanted to kind of just look at the numbers and bring up some points that I don't know, I have a lot to talk about in this video, so let's get right back into it. But I just want to say thanks for all the continued support. Drop a comment down below because I do read every single one, so drop a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it, and leave a like. It's the best way to show your support. So with that out of the way, let's get back into this video. And the question of the video, just what are your guys' thoughts on Leon Draisaitl thus far into the season? Do you think he has been the best Oiler? Do you still think McDavid has been the best Oiler? I mean, there's really no wrong choice there. I just think, I mean, we're going to get into the numbers. Leon Draisaitl currently is first on the team in scoring. Yes, he was, he does have more games played than Connor McDavid, and so with that out of the way, yeah, let's get right back in this video. The 29-year-old has been on an absolute tear this season. Although it started slow, Leon really turned things around when McDavid got injured, and he hasn't looked back at all. He's currently second in league scoring with 52 points and is first in the league in goals with 24. I also think it's worth mentioning that Draisaitl has 14 power play points. So out of the 52 points he has, 14 of those have come on the power play. And get this, out of the 24 goals he has this season, 5 of them, just 5 have come on the power play. Half of his goals last season were on the power play. So it just goes to show, and this is one of the biggest points I wanted to talk about, is just power play merchant. I cannot tell you over the last, like, what, 3, 4, 5 years and counting, oh, Leon Draisaitl, he's just, it's McDavid this, McDavid that. If it wasn't for McDavid, Leon Draisaitl wouldn't be where he is. So there's that, and a lot of that stems from coming on the power play, and you see it. I'm not going to lie. Yes, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, they connect very well on the power play. Well, what are you supposed to do? That's that's the job. You're supposed to score on a power play. So he's scoring just at a, you know, unbelievable rate, and people are, oh, he's just that's all he does. Is like, no, like he's doing he's doing really good things on the power play. So I don't know why people are always crapping on that. However, he's not doing it this season. Like I said, 5 goals on the power play this year, just 5. Like out of his 24 goals that he scored, only 5 of them have come on the power play. So what that tells me is Leon, he's growing as a player and he's finding new ways to score. And I feel like you noticed that at the beginning of the year that the Oilers power play was just atrocious, and he was just like, okay, maybe this Connor McDavid to Leon Draisaitl isn't really working anymore. So yeah, it did work the other day. They did score, but you just look at what he's been able to do. He's finding ways to score on 5-on-5 that you just really haven't seen. Maybe you've seen it in his career, but just not at this level. Because yes, his power play points that he put up, I think he had like 60 power play points last year. And I mean, there's no way he's on track for that this year. And I might be wrong. I'll have to look back into that, but I just wanted to say that, like, there's no way Leon Draisaitl is a power play merchant anymore. And even if he is, like, I hate that phrase. I hate that phrase so much. Like, you're supposed to score in a power play, and he was, and he's getting ripped for it. And another thing I wanted to touch on is just his back checking. Like, Leon Draisaitl, I don't know if it's just the European player in him, but you see it in soccer when players, they get scored on or something doesn't go right, or they don't score a goal or something. They do this, they look up. And I've seen Leon Draisaitl do that his whole entire career, and like this year, like for the first time ever, I don't know if it's just, and you really noticed it. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but you noticed it when Connor McDavid went down. Leon and, you know, Darnell Nurse, quite a few of the players were just like, okay, you know, captain's gone, let's bump our game up. And that's what Leon did, not just offensively, but defensively. My man's skating back for the first time ever. He's actually back checking. And if you're a real Oilers fan and you watch the Oilers, you know you just know what he does. He does that kind of sluggish thing, and then he like goes back, and he's so slow about it, and he's just so dramatic about it. No, if the puck goes the other, like he's the attitude's gone, and he's just like, okay, like let me get back there as soon as possible. And it's led to a lot of good conversations. A lot of people are saying, like, could he be, in the Selke conversation? I don't think he will be, but just some people are throwing it out there. So it's nice because along with being a power play merchant, which is something I've had to defend over the last few years, it's just Leon Draisaitl's defensive game, and people saying, oh, he's only offensive, prowess, like he sucks defensively, which you can't really fault. You look at some of the numbers he put up, it was bad. Like he's had some really bad defensive numbers, and he still does give the puck away a little bit, but he's back checking. And the first time in his career, I can say that he's confidently playing like a 200-foot game. You can't say that about Leon of last year or even 2 years ago, right? So new Leon, he's getting older, and I wanted to touch on that as well. And just a few more things. I'm going to rattle off some stats here, and I hope that I can find them because I was looking to provide some stats. I know him and Kucherov, he just passed Kucherov for most 20-point months. I think it was 13 or 14 in his career. So McDavid's got like 20, I think it was like he's got 20-point months, which is crazy. But Leon Draisaitl in the month of December, right now he has 20 points, and he looks to add to that. I think there's two more games, but like that's crazy. That like he's an elite company. McDavid, Draisaitl, and then Kucherov. Like he just passed Kucherov, which I just find insane. One other thing that I think that is just credit to Leon's success this year is finally he's got some wingers to play with. And maybe not the most fancy wingers, definitely not the most fancy wingers. You look, but he's got Vasily Podkolzin, Kasperi Kapanen. At the beginning of the season, it was Podkolzin and Arvidsson, and they look good. Like they weren't really getting the points, but like they look good. They were doing the right job. But like I said, like the score sheet, the stats didn't really show that they were a dominant line. They were as dominant as maybe you would watch because, like the eye test, you're like, oh, wow, these guys are really clicking. But then you see that Victor Arvidsson's got like 2 goals on the season. Vasily Podkolzin took him to like the 23-game mark before he finally scored. But Leon was still chugging along. So it's interesting. I wanted to touch on this, and it looks like, Kasperi Kapanen and Podkolzin are slotted on that line. And it's annoying because I'm saying this and people are going to be like, oh no, like Leon's been on McDavid's line for quite a bit in the last few games, which you have seen. But I think for the most part, this has been the most consistent that Leon Draisaitl has ever had line mates. It's just been a freaking door. This guy comes in, this guy goes out. And then this guy comes in, and then this guy goes out. So it's kind of annoying, but you got to think that he's like happy, and he's part of the success that he's having this season is all credit to the line mates that he's finally finding some consistent line mates, which is good because honestly, aside from McDavid being a line mate, Patrick Maroon, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, that line was pretty good. I remember in Leon Draisaitl's second year, it was Taylor Hall, Teddy Purcell, and Leon Draisaitl. That line was cooking. If you know, that was a really good line. And then obviously, true Oilers fans know just the dominance of Nugent Hopkins, Kyler Yamamoto, and Leon Draisaitl. That was also a really good line. But since then, he hasn't really had any lines, or like good line mates to play with, aside from McDavid. So it's nice to see. It looks like he's got some good line mates right now. And here's hoping, like an Oilers with a 1 and 2, like a legit first line goes out, second line goes out, like that makes them that much better. And I think that's what you're starting to see right now. And like I'm mentioning all this, but like the one game I will say, like I don't think people realize like how good Leon is. And like that's one thing I just want to say, like at the beginning of this video, yes, he has been overshadowed, overlooked by Connor McDavid. That's not really his fault. It's probably he likes it. I don't think he really cares, but I still don't think people realize how good this guy is. And I remember there was a conversation a few years ago, like, oh, McDavid and Matthews. Is Matthews better than McDavid? Matthews isn't even freaking even close to being as good as Leon Draisaitl. Like the numbers show for, Austin Matthews, he can put the puck in, probably better than anyone in the league. But as far as just being consistent, he's got the physicality. He can pass, he can score. He's a well-rounded, just unbelievable talent in the NHL today, and you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. So I really do think Leon Draisaitl is a top 3, top 4 talent in the world. But right now, I mean, he's playing probably better than anyone. Like, you got Nathan McKinnon, you got Connor McDavid. He's playing better than Connor McDavid. I'll say it. Like, it's honest to God truth. So maybe, I don't know, am I smoking something? Do you think I'm out to lunch? Drop a comment down below. I literally react or reply to every single comment, so would really appreciate it, guys. And as I was talking to, I just wanted to highlight like the Minnesota game. He had 4 points, and it was just insane. And I'll show some highlights here. It was just, when Leon is on, he is on, and like that's what I'm talking about. Like, he's putting up some of the best points per game averages, points per game percentages, or whatever, points per game. His points per game average is just insane in the playoffs. I know he ranks like up there with some of the best, like even better than McDavid, and like that's something you can't say for Austin Matthews. Even Nathan McKinnon, he's tremendous in the playoffs, but Leon Draisaitl is better, statistically speaking. So it's fun, but I'll show you the highlights. Just that game was just vintage Leon, like the Leon that we all know he can play. And like last year, you saw glimpses of it, but it wasn't really until it was playoffs where he turned it on. But this year, like, Leon is probably playing his best hockey individually in his entire career. So it's dope. But that's all I got for this one. I just wanted to give some love to Leon Draisaitl because he's an absolute stud. Probably one of my favorite players in the NHL. So, guys, Merry Christmas. Thanks to all the continued support. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I think I'll be dropping this on Christmas Day or maybe Christmas Eve. I don't know. But whenever you see this, Merry Christmas. If it's just passed or Christmas hasn't quite happened. Just thanks for all the support, guys. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful day. You're spending it with loved ones. So thanks to you and yours. I'm signing off. Have a good one, guys. Take her easy. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and don't be average when you can be above average. Peace. I butchered that.